Amaterasu is the great and glorious goddess of the sun. An embodiment of the rising sun and Japan itself, she is the queen of the kami and ruler of the universe. The Japanese imperial family claims to have descended from her, and this is what gives them the divine right to rule Japan. She is the center of Shinto and Japanese spiritual life. Etymology. Amaterasu can be translated as shines from heaven, with meaning heaven, or imperial, and meaning shines. Amaterasu is shorthand for Amaterasu-Ōmikami, which can be represented in kanji as. This longer version means the great and glorious kami who illuminates from heaven. The most prominent of her titles is Ōhirume-no-Muchi-no-Kami, meaning the great son of the kami. Attributes. Amaterasu is the queen of heaven, the kami, and creation itself. Though she did not create the universe, she is the goddess of creation, a role she inherited from her father, Izanagi, who now defends the world from the land of the dead. Goddess of the rising sun. Amaterasu's primary role is that of the sun goddess. In this position, she not only serves as the literal rising sun that illuminates all things, but also provides nourishment to all living creatures and marks the orderly movement of day into night. The sun represents order and purity, two of Shinto's most important concepts. All things in creation are ordered, from Amaterasu down to the denizens of Jigoku and other hells. This order is reflected in Japanese society as well. The imperial goddess. The Japanese imperial family, which claims descent from Amaterasu, sit at the head of Japanese society, and from the imperial family a natural hierarchy exists. In pre-modern Japan, this was one of the many justifications for the society's caste system. Through Amaterasu's illumination, she represents not just order, but the justice that maintains it as well. The imperial family has long served as the legitimizing power of any Japanese political entity, and they have always used this position to ensure that Amaterasu's place as Queen of Heaven and her control of its courts are reflected in their rule. Thus, the earthly court systems and the justice they represent are reflections of Amaterasu's divine justice, though she herself is not the goddess of justice, merely its final arbiter. She maintains harmony and balance in both the natural world and human society. Goddess of State. Amaterasu has always been an important, if not the most important, kami in Japanese spiritual life. Prior to the Meiji Restoration, when Shinto was not yet formalized, Amaterasu was important across most of Japan. It was only after Shinto was formally recognized as a state religion, however, that Amaterasu's role was solidified and the imperial family set once more as head of the now democratized Japan. Though state Shinto was abolished in the years after World War II, Amaterasu and the imperial family remain an important part of Japanese spiritual life. Some scholars assume, based on archaeological evidence, that the prehistoric sun cult that occupied the region may have worshipped some incarnation of Amaterasu. Imperial regalia. The imperial family possesses 3 holy relics that come directly from Amaterasu herself. Together, these relics are known as the imperial regalia of Japan. Yata no Kagami, the 8-span mirror, was used to lure Amaterasu from the cave she hid in. Yasakani no Magatama, the grand jewel, is a magatama, a curved beaded or jeweled necklace common during the prehistoric Japanese period. Prior to the 4th century, it is thought the grand jewel was lost during the Genpei War, 1180–1185, Kusanagi no Tsurugi. The grass-cutting sword, also known as the Aim no Murakumo no Tsurugi, the heavenly sword of gathering clouds, was once owned by Amaterasu's brother Susanoo and represented virtue. Shrines. The Ise Grand Shrine, known commonly as Jingu, is not only Japan's most historically important shrine, but also the official shrine of the imperial family. Dedicated to Amaterasu, this shrine houses the imperial regalia and was an important site of pilgrimage throughout the Edo period, 1600 to 1868, There are several sections of the shrine where only priestesses and members of the imperial family may pass. As such, the shrine's chief priest and priestess must be of the imperial family line. Another shrine, Amano-Iwato Shrine in Takachiho, Miyazaki Prefecture, is said to be near the gorge where Ama-no-Iwato, the cave where Amaterasu hid herself from the world, can be found. Family. Amaterasu is one of the 3 kami born from Izanagi's purification following his attempt to free his wife from the land of the dead. The 3 deities were born as he washed himself. Amaterasu from his left eye, her brother husband Tsukuyomi from his right eye, and storm god Susanoo from his nose. Though these are her primary siblings, Amaterasu has many other brother and sisters born of Izanagi and Izanami's marriage rituals. Though the parentage of her children is unclear, Amaterasu is thought to have had them with her husband, Tsukuyomi. Their children include Aim no Oshihomimi, whose son Ninigi was given to Japan by Amaterasu. Ninigi's great-grandson, Jima, would go on to become the first emperor of Japan, r. 660–585. Thus, the bloodline from Amaterasu to the imperial family can be reliably traced from the 7th century up to the modern era.